I see your pain and effort. You are stronger than you know. My beloved child, I see you. I know your heart, your thoughts, your struggles. You may feel unseen by those around you, misunderstood, or even forgotten. The world may not always acknowledge your efforts, and the weight of the challenges you carry each day may feel too heavy to bear. But know this, I see you. I see the quiet moments when you choose to keep going, even when the road is steep and the end seems so far away. I see the silent tears you shed when the burden of your heart feels unbearable, when you push forward in the face of loneliness, when every ounce of your strength seems drained. You've spent so much of your life fighting battles that no one knows about, struggles that only you are aware of. You've walked through dark valleys where hope seemed distant, but you kept walking anyway. You faced doubts and fears that gnaw at the very core of your soul. And still, you rise each day with a strength you may not even recognize in yourself. You carry on, pushing forward, even when the world around you may not give you the recognition you deserve. I want to tell you, my precious child, that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Though others may not always see your inner fight, I have witnessed every step you've taken, every sacrifice, every moment of self-doubt, every time you chose perseverance over surrender, every act of kindness you extended when your own heart was broken. I saw it, and I value it more than words can express. You have been walking through the storm, and at times it may feel like the storm will never end. But my love for you is constant, and my eyes are always upon you. Do not believe for 1 second that your efforts are in vain or that the tears you shed are unseen. In the silence of your heart, I hear your cries. I hear your deepest longings, your frustrations, your hopes that have been dashed against the rocks of disappointment. I know how it feels to be misunderstood, to feel like no one truly gets you. But I want you to know this. I get you. I understand you. And I am proud of you, more than you will ever know. Even when you can't see it, every step you take is shaping you, refining you, preparing you for a purpose far greater than what your eyes can yet perceive. Every challenge you face is not a punishment. It is an opportunity for growth, a lesson that I will reveal in time. So hold on, my child. Your efforts are not in vain. You are seen, you are loved, and you are not alone. My child, I know how heavy the world feels on your shoulders. You carry so much, and sometimes the weight of it all seems almost too much to bear. You face challenges that leave you breathless, that make you wonder if you're strong enough to keep going. But I want you to understand this. Adversity is not here to break you. It is here to shape you. Every difficulty you face is an opportunity for growth, even when it feels like it's just pain. Life will always present you with moments of struggle. These moments are not punishments or signs of failure. They are a part of your human journey. I know you often feel like you're walking through a storm that doesn't end, wondering if the sun will ever shine again. But the storm, my beloved, is not without purpose. It is through the tempest that your character is forged, your strength is built, and your faith is tested. The days when you feel lost, when everything seems uncertain, are the days that will ultimately bring you closer to the person you are meant to become. I have seen you in those moments, when you fought through loneliness, when you've struggled with doubt, when your heart was broken and it seemed like no one understood. I see how you press on, even when the path ahead is unclear. You've carried burdens so heavy that you thought you might collapse under their weight, and still you rise. That resilience, that unwavering determination is a gift from me. It is the flame within you, and it will never burn out, even when you feel like it's flickering. Understand, child, that every hardship you endure is refining you, like gold in the fire. The pain you feel now will pass, but the strength you gain from it will remain. You may not see it now, but the trials you face are building you into someone extraordinary. They are preparing you for a life of purpose, for a future that will far exceed what you can imagine. So trust in the process. Trust that I am with you, even in the darkest of times. For through the struggle, you will find a strength in yourself that you never knew existed. I know that there are times when you feel like you are giving everything and receiving nothing in return. You put your heart and soul into everything you do, and yet the recognition you long for feels out of reach. You have worked tirelessly, sacrificed endlessly, and faced challenges with courage, yet the world doesn't seem to notice. My child, hear me now. I see you. I have seen every effort, every moment of perseverance, and I value every single step you have taken. You may feel invisible at times, as if no one notices the quiet struggles, the silent victories, and the personal sacrifices you make. But know this, beloved. I see every piece of your journey. I see the hours you've spent working alone when no one was watching, the strength you found within yourself even when you thought you had nothing left to give. I see the kindness you show, even when your heart feels empty, and the patience you extend, even when your own soul aches with frustration. These efforts are not unnoticed. They are not in vain. Every time you rise, despite the fear, despite the exhaustion, despite the pain, every time you choose to keep going instead of giving up, you are honoring the strength I placed within you. Your efforts are more than just actions. They are expressions of your heart, your soul, your love for life, even when life feels unkind. And that, my child, is more precious than gold. I know that the world doesn't always recognize you for what you do. You may not always hear the words of gratitude or see the fruits of your labor immediately. But trust that I see it all. Your perseverance, your dedication, your courage, it matters. You are creating something beautiful with your efforts, even when you cannot see the results. Your spirit is being shaped into something extraordinary, and I am with you every step of the way, lifting you, holding you, proud of every effort, every breath you take. So do not despair, my child. Even in the moments when you feel overlooked or unheard, know that I hear you, I see you, and I am proud of you more than you can ever understand. Your efforts are valuable. You are valuable, and you are never alone. I understand that there are times when you feel as though your efforts are unnoticed, unappreciated, or even wasted. You pour your heart into your work, your relationships, your dreams, and yet it feels as if the world continues on without seeing the depth of your sacrifice. It may seem like no one acknowledges your struggles or the quiet acts of kindness you extend to others, even when your own soul feels weary. But child, hear this. Your efforts are never in vain. Even when no one else notices, I see everything. Every word of encouragement you've spoken to someone in need, every hour you've dedicated to a cause, every moment you've held space for someone else's pain. It matters. It all matters. You may never know the ripple effect of your actions. The smallest act of kindness can change a life, even when you don't see it. You have touched people in ways you cannot fully comprehend. Your strength, your resilience, and your willingness to keep going have inspired others, whether you are aware of it or not. The way you stand up, even when the world feels like it's pushing you down, is a testament to a power that flows through you, a power that has the ability to lift others, even in the midst of your own struggle. I know you long for recognition, for the world to see how hard you've worked, how much you've given. But I want you to understand that your worth is not determined by external acknowledgement. Your true worth is found in the integrity and love with which you live your life, in the silent moments of sacrifice, in the way you continue to give, even when your heart feels empty. You are touching lives in ways you will never fully see, and I want you to trust that the impact you're making is profound. It's not about immediate rewards or praise. It's about the eternal value of your actions. Remember, beloved, that nothing is ever wasted when done with love. Every step you take toward kindness, every decision to persevere, is building a foundation that will last far beyond what you can see in this moment. You are not walking alone. Your efforts, though unseen by the world, are creating something beautiful in the hearts of others. And I am with you, always, working through you. I know that there are moments when you feel like giving up, when the weight of the world seems too heavy and the road ahead feels so uncertain. I see how tired you are, how often you question whether it's worth it to keep fighting when the battles seem endless. But my child, I want you to know that you are not alone. You are never alone. Even when it feels like no one understands, even when your heart feels shattered, I am with you. I am walking beside you, carrying you when you feel like you cannot walk any longer. You are stronger than you know. Every time you rise again, even when you feel broken, you are becoming more of who I have created you to be. The strength you find in your moments of weakness, the courage you discover when fear surrounds you, these are the building blocks of your future. I see the struggles you've faced, the fears you've overcome, and the resilience you've shown, and I want you to know that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Sometimes it's easy to focus on the distance you still have to go, the obstacles that remain in your path. But I urge you to take a moment and look at how far you've come. You have faced so much, and yet you are still here. You are still fighting, still breathing, still loving, still giving. And that, my child, is something to be proud of. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust me when I say that your journey is far from over. Every day that you keep going, even when everything inside you wants to quit, you are building something greater than you know. Your perseverance will lead you to places of peace, to victories that will be all the more meaningful because of the battles you have fought. So hold on, my beloved. The fight is not easy, but it is worth it. You may not see the rewards today, but I promise you they are coming. Keep going, keep fighting, keep trusting. The strength you have within you, the love I have for you, will carry you through to the other side. I am proud of you. You are doing far more than you know. Keep going, my child, for your breakthrough is closer than you think. My precious child, I see the weight you carry, and I know how often you question your own strength. There are moments when you doubt yourself, when the struggle feels too much, when your inner voice tells you that you are not enough. But I want to remind you of something incredibly important. You have a well of strength within you, a strength that cannot be measured by the number of obstacles you face or the battles you fight. It is not the absence of weakness or doubt that defines strength. It is the choice to keep moving forward, even when everything in you feels like giving up. I have watched you, time and again, face adversity with courage, even when you were terrified. You have stood tall, even when the ground beneath you was shaking. You have held your head high, even when your heart was breaking. I know that you have faced moments where it felt like the walls were closing in, where every step forward seemed like a struggle, but still you rose. That is strength. That is the resilience I placed in you. I want you to understand that true strength isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Every time you faced an obstacle, you didn't allow it to define you. You pressed on, not because it was easy, but because you knew you had to. And that is the kind of strength that I have given you. It is not found in external achievements or accolades, but in the quiet, consistent act of choosing to keep going, even when it feels like you can't. You may not always feel strong, but I see the depth of your courage. Every tear you've shed, every time you felt defeated, has been a testament to your inner resilience. Even when you felt like you were barely holding on, you were holding on. I know your heart is tired, but know that within you is an unbreakable strength, one that has already carried you through so much. Trust in that strength. Trust in me. Together, there is nothing we cannot overcome. Beloved, I understand the uncertainty you face. The future often feels like a vast, uncharted ocean, and it can be overwhelming to navigate the unknown. You have questioned what lies ahead, unsure of the road you are walking, and whether it will ever lead to the peace and fulfillment you long for. But I want you to know that even in the unknown, you are not alone. Every step you take is part of a greater plan, a plan that I have already set in motion, even before you were born. Trusting the journey is not easy. You want to know the outcome now. You want to have control over every twist and turn, but that's not how it works. The beauty of your journey lies in the mystery of what is to come, in the way that each experience, each challenge, is a stepping stone leading you to the person you are becoming. I have seen your heart, your desires, and your dreams, and I have set before you a path that will take you to places of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. You may not see it yet, but every challenge you face is building the foundation for something greater. It may be hard to see in the present, but I want you to trust that all of your efforts, all of your heartaches, and all of your victories are leading you to a place of peace and purpose that you cannot yet fully comprehend. The road may not always be smooth, but I am with you every step of the way. There will be times when the way forward seems unclear, when the path feels lonely, But I promise you, you are exactly where you need to be, and I am guiding you with a love that is unshakable. Do not be afraid of the unknown. Embrace it, for it is in the unknown that the most beautiful discoveries are made. You are not lost, you are being led. So trust the journey, my child. Even when you cannot see the end, know that it is already written in my heart. Keep moving forward and trust that every moment is a part of the beautiful story we are writing together. I am with you now, and I will be with you always. Keep going. The best is yet to come. My child, I know the pain you carry in your heart. It is not an easy thing to heal from the wounds of life, especially when they are so deep, so personal, and so often misunderstood by those around you. You long for healing. Sometimes you yearn for it so desperately that it feels as if the very fabric of your soul aches for relief. But I want to tell you something important. Healing is a journey, and patience is the key to unlocking its full power. You have faced so much, more than many could ever imagine, and I see the way it has left scars on your spirit. There are days when the past seems to haunt you, when the memories of hurt and disappointment rise up like a tidal wave, threatening to drown you. But know this, you are not defined by your past. You are defined by the courage with which you face each new day, by your decision to rise, even when your heart feels heavy with the weight of what you've been through. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It is not an instant fix, and it is not a straight path. There will be days when you feel as though you have made great strides, and then there will be moments when the pain comes rushing back, reminding you of how far you still have to go. But I am here to remind you, healing is not about perfection. It is about progress. Each day that you continue to breathe, to live, to love, you are healing. Each small step forward is a victory. Each tear shed is a release, a letting go, a piece of the past that you are finally freeing yourself from. Patience is not about waiting idly for something to change. It is about trusting that I am with you in the process. I know you long for quick relief, for the pain to vanish in an instant, but healing is not something that can be rushed. It is a delicate, sacred process that takes time. And I am with you every single step of the way, even on the days when it feels like you're standing still. Your heart will mend, the scars will fade, and in time, you will see the beauty that is emerging from the brokenness, a beauty that is stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than before. My dear, there will always be storms in life. There will be days when the winds of doubt blow fiercely, when the rains of fear fall relentlessly, and when the thunder of uncertainty rages so loudly that you cannot hear your own thoughts. But in the midst of those storms, I want you to remember this. Peace is not the absence of the storm. Peace is the assurance that I am with you, even in the chaos. I know there are moments when you feel as if the storms of your life are too much to bear. You wonder when the turmoil will end, when the heartache will cease, when the weight of the world will finally be lifted from your shoulders. But I want you to understand that you are not meant to weather this alone. I am here, right alongside you, holding you, comforting you, and walking with you through every storm. The peace I offer you is not found in the absence of trouble, but in the presence of my love. It is the calm in your heart, the quiet strength that rises from within when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It is the knowledge that, no matter what happens, you are held in my hands. I see the chaos that surrounds you, and I know how it feels to be overwhelmed by the uncertainty of life. But I also know the power of peace, peace that comes from knowing that, in the end, everything will be okay. No matter what happens, you are mine, and nothing can ever separate you from my love. I know it is difficult to find peace in the midst of such overwhelming storms. But trust in me, child. Trust that the storm will pass. Trust that you are being shaped by this process, just as the wind and rain shape the earth. When the storm subsides, you will find that you are stronger, more at peace, and more connected to the essence of who you truly are. Your faith, your resilience, and your trust in me will carry you through. In the end, you will find a peace that is unshakable, a peace that is beyond understanding. So hold on, my beloved, for the storm will pass, and you will emerge from it even more beautiful than before. My child, there are moments when you feel as though you are walking alone, as though the burdens of life are too heavy to bear, and no one is there to help carry them. You may feel misunderstood, unseen, and uncertain of where to turn. But I want to remind you of a truth that can never be shaken. You are never alone. I have always been with you, and I always will be. The bond between us is unbreakable, woven into the very fabric of your existence. I know you have experienced moments of deep pain and loneliness. You have faced losses that left a void in your heart, and there have been times when you questioned whether anyone truly saw the real you. You have given so much of yourself, your time, your energy, your love, and yet there were times when you felt that it wasn't returned, when your heart ached with the feeling of being taken for granted or misunderstood. But my beloved, know that I see you. I see every sacrifice, every tear that has fallen, every moment of doubt you've carried. And I want you to understand, with every part of your being, that the love I have for you is far beyond what you have ever known or imagined. The love I offer you is unconditional. It is not based on your actions, your success, or even how others see you. It is simply because you are mine, and I have created you with love. In your darkest moments, when you felt abandoned, I was there. In the times when you felt as if your heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces, I was there, holding you together, even when you couldn't feel it. I have never once left your side, and I never will. There are days when you may feel like the world is too much, when the loneliness weighs heavy on your spirit. But I want you to know that this love is a constant, a foundation that will never crumble. It will always be there to lift you up when you are down, to encourage you when you feel lost, to comfort you when you are hurting. You are cherished, not for what you do, but for who you are. You are precious to me beyond measure. And when you feel as though no one else understands, know this: I do. I understand the depth of your heart, the pain you have carried, and the dreams you have longed for. I will never leave you, and I will always be here to love you, guide you, and help you heal. Trust in the bond we share, my child, for it is the most powerful force in the universe. Let it be the anchor in your storms and the source of your strength. No matter what, you are loved, you are enough, and you are never alone.